Hi Taurus, welcome to your mid-October. Let's focus on you and that full moon, blue moon in your sign, conjunct Uranus. You know, I'm really glad at times like this, really glad that tarot cards exist because your full moon is so unpredictable. What are you going to do next? Chances are October and November are times where you surprise everybody around you. So whatever you think they think, that'll change. Whatever they think you think, that will also change. You're full of surprises. And with Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, with Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, despite the fact that you feel like your ships have not been coming in, you're about to have a couple of options. Your ships are going to dock, as it were. And I'm very excited for you to see what it is. Because it is that element of unpredictability with Uranus that we just don't know. Knight of Swords, Nine of Cups, the Lovers, the Sun, and the Death card, clarified by the Six of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Star. Had to draw some extras because the Death card is very, very interesting. But as we're heading into Scorpio season, this can only mean that all these changes, Taurus, that you're going through with the full moon are looking pretty interesting. So, if you're still with me and you haven't ran away kicking and screaming because of the Death card, good, because we can explain that in a way that I actually think you're going to like. So, Scorpio season has always been represented by the Death card. And the reason for that is not because, as we say with tarot, that anybody dies, or not because anybody exits, or not because we lose ourselves or all is taken from us. It's actually a deeper metamorphosis that you have been leading up to for the last 6 months. The last 6 months have been challenging to your egoic nature, your need to cling to conclusions or patterns or ideals or relationships or jobs that were not suited to you anymore. And the Death card with the Sun in the challenge means that this is a death of the ego moment, which all the fixed signs typically go through kicking and screaming. Actually, all the signs, I think, have a bit of a problem with the ego because we're all human. And the ego isn't a sign that you're a bad person. Actually, the egoic mind is the fear. It is what makes us feel in a false illusion of security. So when I speak about the ego in these, I mean that little voice in your head that tells you to play it safe, to protect yourself. And you know, that's a good thing in a way because it does keep us safe in many situations. It stops us being incredibly risky. You know, it stops us betting all our money on a risky venture because we're fearless. Do you know what I mean? The Death card is that death of the ego moment for you, and that can feel kind of confusing, and it can feel confusing for a couple of reasons, Taurus. You get a taste of success. You get a taste of a job well done. You get a taste of, oh, finally, I've been waiting a while for this bonus, this job, this accolade, this recognition, this certificate, whatever it is. I've been waiting a while to see this start to work. And then, because Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio, you feel a bit of a stall. So you've seen a bit of a drip and drab of something starting to work. And it's played into your ego and it's made you feel justified in staying stuck in some way. Or playing it small, whatever it is. or staying with friends, whatever it is. You get a taste of the little bit of success and then it kind of delays. Why does it delay? Well, it's waiting for Jupiter and Saturn to move into Aquarius. And what does that mean for you? Well, Aquarius is all about your long-term goals, your vision, your dream future. The star is setting you up for that moment of recognition that is far grander than what you've been getting. You know, that fame or that hope or that serendipity or that chance encounter or that chance meeting or that chance, you know, right place, right time. And it all comes through when you let go of who you have defined yourself to be for a very long time. And for those of you looking for love, I mentioned to you many times that by the end of the year, your love energy was resetting in some way. Scorpio season is that reset. It's partnership season. And when Mercury clears retrograde, although it will be in shadow for most of Scorpio season, it doesn't mean that you can't find those connections or you can't tap into that frequency. In fact, Sagittarius season is a very interesting time for merging as well, for deeper intimacy, for deeper connections. And as usual, for a lot of Taurus, we have that air sign in here. The Gemini, the Aquarius, the Libra, where something really needs to change. Maybe too much needs to change. Or maybe it just requires everybody to get out of their own way. Your hopes and fears with the Nine of Cups in the middle is this sense of, I think I know what I want. But you are missing something. That final cup is missing. And with it missing, I think that a lot of that lies in your definition of who you are and what you can have and what you can't have. Scorpio season with Mercury in retrograde, as I said in the new moon video, can herald the return of somebody. And if it's somebody who's been deceitful or tricky or manipulative or who steals your light or drains your energy or makes you feel in the dark consistently, then no, that's not your person. But it doesn't mean that your person won't look or sound a little bit like them. It doesn't mean that they won't come in a similar form. There's this concept with soulmates that oftentimes we can go through relationships beforehand that the soul confuses with the soulmate because of the appearance. It's almost like before you meet the person that you're meant to be with, you'll have dated somebody who was actually really bad for you, but they looked very like them. That's a concept that some people believe in. It's kind of looking like that to me. The Hanged Man on the star just screams, hang in there, Taurus. It's going to be better. It's going to work out. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be what you wished for. But you have to redefine yourself first and what would be successful. Get a very clear picture of it. As far as friendship goes, I feel that a lot of Taurus have been moving away from a group of people. With Neptune in Pisces, a lot of the time you've had friendships in your life that weren't necessarily healthy, that fed into a narrative, that fed into addiction, whatever that is. And I think a lot of Taurus are leaving that behind. For those of you in established relationships, there are still big changes. And they require you to be optimistic rather than fearful. Because the Death card isn't necessarily the end of anything. But it's a change. And I think a lot of Taurus could use a bit of a change. because it's a good change. Death and the Six of Wands. Especially with the Lovers in your positive position, I feel like your love relationships, Taurus, are really starting to come into focus. They're really starting to pick up. They're really starting to make sense. But it's your career that I wonder about. You know, whether or not it's time to move, it's time to retire, or it's time to change jobs, or it's time to think of a different avenue. Especially because I think a lot of the people around you in a work situation are really draining your energy at the moment. And a bit of a separation would be good. Ah, okay. Anxiety. Yep, the Sun and the Challenge. You are feeling quite anxious about everything. Scorpio season, the lead up to the full moon. The full moon will be emotional. But it's your door to personal healing and happiness. Okay. And possibly a door to romance. So Taurus, I love you guys very much. I'll see you soon. Bye.